Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Denver, Colorado. And this is my buddy Puccini, who keeps me company in the craft room. The last time I did a video, he came and sat right in the middle of my work during the video, so he had to be, well, he got moved and then he got banished finally. So what I have for you is a fun little quick project that you can make for Christmas, for little stocking stuffers, or I used it in a craft fair, and they're calendars that can be used all year. I think you're going to like the project. Let's just get started. Okay, here is my project, and this is a regular size 11 by 4 1/4 piece of cardstock, so it's half a sheet, and then this piece raises up and sits against that and creates this cute little calendar with post-it notes on it on the bottom. And I'm only changing up one thing. On this one, in a card class I had them use the die set from Sending Smiles to do this particular piece and die cut out the words. In this case, I've set up my Stamparatus to stamp that and the other part of the greeting here on the Stamparatus. So this is what you need. Now I used, in this case, I used Mary Merlot, and in this case we're going to use Mossy Meadow. And this is, again, 11 inches by 4 1/4, and it is scored at 5 1/2, so right in half, to create half of a card. This could still at this point be the same size as we would for a greeting card, but then I've scored it one more time here, and let me make sure of my measurement here, but this has been scored again at 2 1/2 inches, and so at 2 1/2 inches we'll bend it back again and then make that score good and burnished, so this will mostly stay closed the way we want it. There we go. Then we need a piece of Designer Series, and this is a great way to use scraps. This one happens to be, I believe it's Hues of Happiness, and it goes right down here on this piece. And then the calendars that I used are from Tailored Expressions. I found them to be the least expensive this year. And this is a mini 2023 tear-off calendar. I think they're $5 or $5.50 for 10 of them. So about 55 cents a piece for these. And then you tear this one off, and there's your calendar starting January 2023. That's going to go on here. So this piece that I have put behind the calendar is 4 inches by 2 3/4. Then I have a piece of white to go up here on the top. That piece is 4 inches by 2 1/4, and that will fit right up here on the top. Then on the inside we have another piece of the same Designer Series paper, and this one is 4 inches by 3 1/2 inches, and that is going to sit right down here, and that's what our post-it note is going to sit on. And this post-it note is very thick, so I used half of one, and you could pack the other half in here so that the people would know they could just change them out when it runs out. But your post-it note is going to sit here, and then we have one other piece, and it is 4 inches by 1 1/2, and that sits right up here at the top so that you can write a message. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas, hope this brings you joy all year long, love, Linda, you know, just whatever you'd like to have. So those are the pieces that I'm using. So let's go ahead and put this together. It's really very, very simple. We're going to start with the stamping, and I have set up in my Stamparatus here, and I use these corners. You can get this little kit with accessories for the Misty stamp set or stamp positioner, and I bought a set of those so that I could use them with my Stamparatus. They're actually pretty handy. So these are magnetic and sit on your machine. The stamp set I'm using is Sending Smiles, and it's photopolymer, so I have my cushion in here. And then we have the stamp set up so that it will put Sending Sunshine to Brighten Your Day. And I'm using my Mary Merlot ink, and so I'm going to, let's see, I'm just going to stick another stamp pad underneath here to support that. I think you can see what I'm doing there. And we're going to quickly ink up that sentiment. So I'm using my Mary Merlot here, and the beauty is, because that Sending's kind of a big stamp, that if it doesn't stamp perfectly, we can do it again. So here we go. I've got that piece set up in here, and I'm going to put my pressure on that, and let's see how it did. Looks like it did everything but right up here at the top, so that piece obviously has to be put down a little bit harder. Okay, now we're going to ink that up again, and we're going to stamp it again, knowing that we have to put a little bit of pressure on that S. And I thought I would show both ways, using the die set and then not using the die set. Looks like we need one more time with a little emphasis on this G over here. And maybe my sunshine. All right, one more time. So here we go. Sunshine, and the G was a little bit off. And just put some pressure all the way along there. And there we've got a perfect Sending Sunshine to Brighten Your Day. Isn't that pretty? All right, there is our stamped piece. And here is our card. So we know that this first shorter piece, the 4 inches by 2 3/4 is going to go down right here. So we'll go ahead and get our seal ready and put that into place. If you have a directional pattern, you just have to be careful that you put it on right side up. And there we go. That piece is in place. And now our calendar is ready to go on. And for that, I'm going to use Tombow, because that is a piece that's going to get manipulated a bit as people tear off the calendar pieces. So I want that on there real good. So I'm going to use my Tombow. And I'm going to be very generous with it because I really want that stuck down. And I'm just not putting it in the corners because I don't want it to ooze out. I'll put a little tendril or two out there, and that should do it. Now that can just be centered on the front of my card. And because it's Tombow, it's going to give me a minute or two to make sure I've got that on there straight. And I think I do. And that is ready to go. All right. Now this piece, which is our stamping, should be nice and dry now, is going to go right up here on the top. And it matches the color in the paper. So that's going to work out real well. So I'm going to go ahead and add my seal to that and put that in place as well. And And again, centering this piece on here. And I picked the Mossy Meadow and the Mary Merlot so that it would coordinate the best with this paper. So there we have the front of our project done. Now on the inside, we're going to add this larger piece of DSP to the bottom, right down here, centered on the bottom with a similar margin all the way around the bottom 3 pieces. Then we're going to take our sentiment piece here, or our written sentiment piece, and put that into place here as well, centering it with the top of the card. Then we have our Post-it notes. And what I'm going to do is just, again, this one I'm going to use Tombow on the bottom of this. And once again, going to put plenty, but keep it away from the corners because that'll smush down anyway. So there we go. And then when people are done with this, they can just pop the new Post-it notes right on the top of where this one used to be. In fact, you might send that along with the calendar. Now these little projects sold really well at my craft show. We did a couple of them. My good buddy Sandy Ship and I, Sandy's on my team, lives here in the metropolitan area, lives over in Littleton. And we made lots of projects. In fact, I'm going to do a quick video that's going to talk about all the projects, what we had them priced at, and how well they sold. All right, there we go. And so that is the project. So there we go. On this one, I did put a little extra piece of ribbon around here. And with this one, I think what I might do is add a couple of rhinestones just to bling it up a little bit. In fact, I'm going to take one of these small rhinestones here, and I'm going to dot that eye with a rhinestone. And then I'm going to put a few more of those rhinestones around on the card. Now this is going to get used a little bit, so if you want to secure your rhinestones a little bit more, you can always put a little dab of Tombow, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. I mean just a little dot of Tombow. There we go, and you can see how small that is. And even then, I might take a tiny bit of that off and maybe add one more over on this side. And when in doubt, you can always take a piece of paper, any kind of paper, here's the front of this, and just take a tiny tidge off if you feel like it's too much. And then you can put your rhinestone down. Maybe we'll use some of the medium rhinestones there to make sure we cover the Tombow. But if I put that in place over the Tombow, trust me, that rhinestone is going nowhere. And so there's that one. They're put in place, and my project is complete and ready to go. Easy peasy, something that's fast. You can use a bit of scraps to make this project. You can also make this piece smaller, put a smaller message and put another piece of this designer series paper behind that. So there we go. That is my project for the day. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. This would be a fun gift to put in stockings for Christmas. I always do a shoebox rather than a stocking because mine has to get mailed. and they've got the stockings on the other end. So I put a shoebox together for various people and put all kinds of things I collect all year long, particularly at the craft shows. So that is it. That's my project for the day. You need to check out my blog. I've added quite a bit. There is a gift certificate available from my site to give some of your crafty friends access to Stampin' Up! Products. We've got a rewards program going. My retireds are up. I've got kits in there. That would be a fun gift to give someone too, because they get the little recipe card along with the kit, and it's enough to make 2 cards for each kit. So check those out, and see, we're getting ready. Most of us who are demonstrators have access to the upcoming new catalog, and starting on December 1st, we'll be able to order from it. So it's getting very exciting. And I will put an order in straight away on December 1st and be able to do perhaps an unboxing and a little show of some of the stuff that's in the new catalog. So that's it. I hope you all had a fantastic Thanksgiving, and I'll be back soon with more cards, more tips, and more projects. Bye.